Hello friends and welcome to the channel. This is Stormhaven Gaming, I'm John and this is Timberborn. Okay, we are picking up on day 19, we've got 18 days left of the bad tide. Our little project here is going fairly well. We have, again, more than half of what we need. We're well on the way to getting everything we need in there. Still got plenty of gears. Treated planks are going to hold us up a little bit. Metal blocks we're okay for, so all of that stuff we should be able to get. It's just the treated planks that are going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, we completed our subterranean irrigation system. Yep. Not knowing how it worked beforehand really sort of held me up there, so... I mean, it's working now. We've got it all connected up in the right places. So there's plenty of contact points. Obviously, the hydration doesn't spread past the these things. Oh, I can never remember what they're called. Tubeways. That's it. God, dear. My brain. Yeah, so the tubeways are preventing the hydration from spreading across onto that side. But that's okay. We can simply put in a swimming pool or two around... this side, so that should be fine. We do have dirt laid in to continue expanding once the building work is finished over here. Yeah, over here, if I can sort of zoom in, we didn't quite get rid of the contamination on this corner, but everywhere else it has completely gone. So it's just here that's the issue, so that's fine. We can deal with it. I could put another irrigation barrier in there, which would completely cut it off, I suspect, but it's not really worth it. I don't think we're going to be growing anything down here, so the contamination shouldn't be an issue. And it's under the path anyway, so yeah, it's fine. This is dehydrating very rapidly. It took, what, 10 days for it to drop one level. And it's only taken another, well, 2.5 days to drop down about a quarter of a tile, so that's not going to last very long. So I don't know if I'm going to put in a water dump for this section. If I do, I'll put in floodgates there, and we'll just keep this bit hydrated, I suspect. Don't know. Don't know. Haven't decided yet. But at the moment, all I'm really doing is this... building work here. That's using all of our builders and quite a lot of our resources. So honestly, that's going to be our priority for this episode. We will be getting rid of, you know, most of these paths and relaying everything once this is complete and once we start laying in the new housing around it. Where are we? Over here. We are draining water out of this reservoir slowly. We're doing okay for water at the moment. We've still got everything coming out of this reservoir. What I've done over here, if we zoom in, I've reset the sluice so it closes above a downstream depth of 1. So hopefully that will keep these tunnels. If we... Oh dear, I rather overshot there, didn't I? So down to here, so it should still keep filling up. Although I don't think there's enough water left in the reservoir to keep it filled. So that's unfortunate. This is why I was thinking about maybe having a fluid dump in this hole here to keep that topped up, but don't know. Don't know. Certainly not at the moment, anyway. There's no point in keeping this hydrated at the moment because we're not using it for anything. And the only reason I want it hydrated is because it looks nicer. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not sure what we're going to do next. Once we've got this in, obviously I want to build up this housing area. But we do also want to start spreading hydration around the rest of the map. And that does mean closing off these two bad water sources. And maybe putting in a big old bad water reservoir in here. And it does mean coming in and... Where are we? Securing the water source that is Where are we? There. Securing that water source. There's only 3 tiles, so we could just build levees around it and let that water come up to this level and then figure out what we're going to do with it. Yeah. Obviously, the bad water will probably divert into this channel. Because we've already got 2 being diverted into this channel. And only 1 in this one. So, yeah, I'll probably bring that in down here. I'll probably... Yeah, I'm probably going to want to get rid of these levees. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need to get rid of these levees and connect this up to a channel like this one. So we can feed that in during bad tides. That should be fine. I don't see any major problems with that. Just trying to see the height here. Yeah, we'll need to bring it along here and then drop down into a channel here. So once that is done, we'll need to replace these levees with platforms, I think, so we can still use the tubeway station. Yeah, that's where we are. That's what we're doing. It's going to take a long time to get this done. I mean, we are nearly 50% of the way through it. So it's not too bad. It'll definitely be done by the end of this episode, one way or another. So for now, I think I'm just going to be able to spin on. That's all I can really do. So I'll do that. I'll be back in a few days and we'll see how we're doing. Okay, day 23, 2 weeks left of the bad tide, and as you can see, we are definitely making progress with the repopulator. We've nearly got all the gears we need, and we're working our way towards the metal blocks. Treated planks, yeah, we don't have any at the moment. They're being produced, but it's going to take a while to get the remaining that we need. Other than that, things are just ticking along. Our bot population is not doing great. Every time a bot is created, one breaks down. Our beaver population is hovering around 20 available at the moment. So we have a population of 130. We currently have 7 of our breeding pods turned on. Somebody in the comments mentioned that maybe I was producing kits rather than full-grown beavers, but I'm not. We only have advanced breeding pods. We don't have any standard breeding pods anymore. We're not getting any breeding halted messages at any point, so it seems like they are running, pretty much constantly. So it's not like they're not getting access to the water or berries, extract or berries that they need, and we have plenty of both. 1,800 berries, 2,000 extract. So it's not like we're short on the resources to keep those going either. Yeah, so I don't know why we are unable to maintain a population, really. Strange. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this, because it is pretty much useless. Probably tearing it all out is the best thing we can do with it, and use those resources for something else. I won't bother at the moment. I'll leave it on for now, because when that is running, I've dropped it down to 2 charging stations, so it's only going to be drawing 100 horsepower. So it will give these a chance to charge up a little bit. We'll see how it goes. It's not going to be particularly useful outside of normal weather conditions, really. Yeah, I don't know, really. We also need to figure out what to do with the bad water here, because just funneling it off the map is fine. But as you can see, there's a lot of bad water trying to exit the map down here. A lot of bad water. So we are going to need to control that somehow. No idea how. Whether we just cap these and leave them closed, that's a possibility, and then build around them. Don't know. I mean, obviously we could set up power structures, but at the moment we are, well, during the bad tide, we're producing 25,000 horsepower and using less than half of that. So I don't know. I haven't quite decided. We've got plenty of time because we're going to be sort of spreading this way slowly. Yeah, I don't really know. I haven't yet decided. That's basically where we are. I'm not doing anything else. I'm just playing on. Our well-being is still hovering around 64. There's nothing more we can really do to improve that. I mean, more scratchers, more lanterns, more campfires and rooftop terraces. I mean, all of these will be helped when we put in the new housing area around the Repopulator, because we I can't speak now. We will be putting in a bunch of entertainment stuff around here. So we'll have a bunch of scratchers and campfires and so on. Yeah. As I say, that's where we are. We are dropping quite significantly down here. We're taking out a fair amount of water to keep ourselves at fully hydrated. So we've dropped down below the level of the sluice. Which means I suspect the water is actually dropping quite rapidly in here. Yeah, it really doesn't seem like it being covered with dirt slows down evaporation that much. Ah, well. Can't have everything, can we? So again, I guess I'm just going to spin on. See how we do. I'll come back probably when there's about a week left of the bad tide. Right. Day 30, so we've got a week left of the bad tide. We're making decent progress on the Repopulator. We've got all the metal blocks and all the gears we need. We just need another, 466 treated planks. There's a couple just arrived there. That's nice, or one just arrived there. I have come over here. Oop. Gotten rid of these old engines that weren't doing anything to clear up a little bit of space, and I've put in another wood workshop. So we'll be producing more treated planks, which is nice. We've also got all these medical beds that just aren't being used anymore because we're not injuring beavers with our industry, which I'm sure they're happy about. What else have I done? Nothing over here, so I don't know why I'm looking over here. I have put in some additional storage for algae and mushrooms and planks. Because these weren't producing because we'd filled up our storage, so I figured I might as well put some more in, at least give those beavers something to do. Not that we're short on food at all, but better to have it than not. Up here, I've made this a little bit more bot friendly, so I've put in a control tower, and we have 66,000 science. We're not hurting for science at the moment. And I've put in a medium tank here to store grease. So the only reason they're going to have to sort of leave this area is to charge up. And they only need to come down here for that. Although, to be fair, I should probably put in a couple more charging stations down there. But it's fine. We'll leave it for now. This bit of dirt has been laid in. Whilst they were waiting for treated planks, they got that done. So I'm going to lay in the next section. Yeah, we'll come across... Oh, we might as well fill in this little section first. There we go. And then we'll just keep climbing. We'll do it one strip at a time, just so it's controllable. There we go. Come on. Really does take a while. You can only lay them in... Oh, dear. You can only lay them in strips of 10. Even if you're doing sort of multiple strips, it's a 10 by 10 block is the biggest you can do. So, but as you can see, this doesn't take very long to get started. These beavers are still, working hard, so that's good. This has remained hydrated. This area here. If we look down on the, there we are. We're down to about half full, maybe. A little bit less, perhaps. So I suspect, judging by the speed at which this is disappearing, that actually the evaporation is less underground. I don't know. Don't know how evaporation works, and I'm not about to spend my time figuring it out. What would be the point in that? Where's the fun in that? Over here. Where are we? Down here. So let me just get rid of that. So this is where the fresh water will spill out into. And at the moment, it's just going off the map here. So I'm getting rid of these blockages, and I think I'm going to come across here. I mean, I haven't planned this out yet, but, you know. Yeah, come down to... yeah, I might as well come down right to the end. Like so. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to block this off with levees. So that the fresh water no longer flows off the map that way. How deep do we need to be? We need to be one deeper, I think. Like so. We'll come back one tile there. And get ourselves some steps up onto it like that. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll come across here, we'll fill that in. Now that we've demolished those, the water will flow this way. And then off the map over here eventually. But to start with, at least, it will hydrate a bit more of the land. Once we block this off to a height of 2 tiles, perhaps? Probably 2 tiles along there, unless I want to come all the way along with 3. I might come all the way along with 3. We'll have to see. But yeah, that's what I'll do for the moment. I might put some dams in on the top level there, just so it can escape. We might need to dynamite some of this watercourse here, just to allow it to get through. Because if we're coming up 3 tiles, yeah, that'll be that high. So we'll need to get rid of quite a lot of it, actually. Yeah, quite a lot. All the way down to here. That's not ideal, is it? No, I'll have to think. I mean, that's in the future anyway. We'll get all this done first. And that involves, you know, getting this repopulator finished first. Which might be done by the end of the bad tide. I'll tell you what. I'll spin on and we'll find out. There we go. The 30-day bad tide is at an end. We did all right. We've still got nearly 9,000 water and plenty of food. So that's all good. Hopefully this water should switch over. These sluices should switch over without any major issues, he says. But in theory, all of the bad water, or most of the bad water, should clear out before it switches over. There we go. So we've got a tiny bit of contamination in there. Those are still open because there's still obviously some contamination in that water. There we go. Are we stopped? We have stopped. So all of our fresh water is now coming this way. Excellent stuff. We are pretty close. 170 treated planks remaining to get this repopulator finished. So that shouldn't be more than a couple of days, I wouldn't have thought. He says. I don't know exactly how many we're producing. So about 1 an hour, essentially, with our 3 wood workshops. We're producing 1 an hour. So yeah, it's going to take a little while to get done. Okay, so this should have switched over as well. Yes, it has. But what I'm going to do with these is close them up so all of the fresh water goes into our reservoir here. Why? Yeah, these ones aren't opening. That one does. These do not. I don't know why. It's probably to do with the way that the bad water sits on top of the fresh water, but I'm not 100% sure. Surprisingly. It's not like I'm playing this by ear or anything. But yeah, that should fill up. Obviously, we did eventually lose the water in this section here. Okay, but now we do have our levee wall finished down here, so that water should flow into here, fill this up, and then spill out over here. I don't think there's anywhere else that it's going to spill before it spills over here, but I mean, it's a test. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's going to flood anything down here. So once that comes through here, that should fill up, and then we'll get a bit more hydration in this area as well. Yeah, that's essentially what's happening. Again, I've not done a huge amount. I will... Where are we? Pause these 2 water pumps on here. And I'll switch off this control tower. We can... I mean, in fact, that didn't lose much less water than the main reservoir with 2 water pumps on it. Okay, that's fine. But this will fill up. This will obviously start charging these up, which it is. We've already got 500 horsepower in there. Ooh. It's not a lot of use, honestly. But yeah, that's where we are. So everything should now flow through here without any issues. I can turn on our water pumps over here. Like so. There we go. Right, so that should help all through there. I want to put this... Oh, that is down to 1.8 already. I was way ahead of myself there. I'm very impressed with me. Right, this is filling up, so that's about to start overflowing. We are 150 treated planks away from completion. Okay, let's give it a few minutes to for the fresh water to filter through here, shall we? There we go. It took pretty much half a day for it to filter through here, but that's okay. It's now going to start filling this section up, and we'll then spill over here into this section here. I do want to come down into this area and block this off as well. Don't know what we're going to do with it then, but we will get a bit more water in this area. Okay, I guess the next thing to do then is spin on until that's started to overflow, and hopefully we'll be a bit closer to completion on our repopulator. Day 3 then, and this has started overflowing. We're now leaking this fresh water off the side of the map, which, as I say, isn't ideal, but it is what it is at the moment. So we've got ourselves this little section filled up here, which is hydrating this area around here, which is nice. Just makes it look a little bit more green, which is very pleasant. How are we doing here? We are 80 treated planks away. Well, 81, but, you know, what's the odd plank between friends? Okay, this is filling up, albeit slowly, but it's a big old reservoir. I think it's doing better than our other one. Yeah, this one is barely filling at all. So I think when we sort out this water source, we definitely want to bring the fresh water across into this reservoir. At least then we'll be able to turn these on a bit more often, so that will help during droughts and bad tides, because it just isn't filling up quickly enough. There isn't enough water coming out of these, well, I mean, 3 water sources, so we'll double it at least if we add this one to it. And 3 days, and this still isn't clear of bad water down here, so that's not ideal either, but it's fine. It is what it is, anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything else for now. Or am I? Am I going to lay some more dirt in? I think I'm going to lay some more dirt in. Just about to say, I'm not going to do anything else until that repopulator is finished, but there's nothing to stop us laying the next stretch of dirt in. At least they can work on it whilst they don't have the treated planks for the repopulator. Okay, there we go. That's another stretch of dirt for them to be filling in. As I say, that will happen whilst they're waiting for the treated planks over here. Okay. Okay. How is everything else doing? Everything else is doing okay. I say okay, we're doing pretty well. Our population is increasing. Slowly, but it's increasing. We have 7 unemployed bots, which is good, because at the moment, what's normally happening, although it seems to have changed a bit now, is that every time a bot was created, a bot would break down. So we were hovering around the 0 mark, but I think we've just managed to... There we go. Created, broke down. That's what was happening, but it looks like we may have just eked ahead of it there slightly. Oh, I need to turn this fluid dump on. There we go. Yeah, I think we're doing all right. I think we are. I'm sure you'll disagree in the comments. You have a habit of doing so. But that's what the comment section is for. Okay, I will spin on then probably until this is finished, or until we get the next drought or bad tide warning, depending on which happens first. Okay, then we are on day 5 of this cycle. We've got a drought coming in little under 2 days, but we have all of the stuff that we need to complete the repopulator. It's just a matter of getting it built now. As you can see, we have a whole bunch of beavers and bots working on it, so it shouldn't take too long. Maybe another few days? No, probably not even that. Probably a day or so, and that will be done. Everything else is going okay. We finished our building over here with the dirt blocks, so that's good. Yeah, everything's going okay. Everything's going just about okay. Obviously, this is taking its time to fill up, as it always does, but we're getting there. We're not going to get it full by the time the drought starts, so I'm hoping it's not going to be a massively long drought, but I suspect I'm going to be disappointed. These have got a few thousand horsepower stored up in them, so I mean, they'll keep going for a little while. These are being used occasionally, as you can see, very occasionally, but they're there to be used, so that's a win. Yeah, everything else is going fine. I've managed to pretty much fill this to capacity, this reservoir up here, by keeping these closed off until it started overflowing. How are we looking in here? You are currently closed, so that's as open as it can get, as filled as it can get. So let's see how that looks in there. Yeah, that's maximum fill. So that should be touching the underside of these dirt blocks, which presumably is why we're actually getting some hydration on there now. Yeah, all good. It's going great. Yeah, they've managed like 2% in half a day, so it's might not be done before the end of the normal weather. So it might be a day or so into the drought by the time that's finished. It might not be. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll come back when it is finished. And then we'll need to start putting in some more housing around that area. And then I think the next order of business is going to be coming over and securing this water source over here. So how are we going to do that? Let's bring some steps down here. That'll get us into the right position. And then where are we? There we go. So it's this area here that we'll want to dynamite out and then build probably levees up around that section there. Yeah, that's probably the best bet. We'll block this section off here, I think. But we'll want to build the exits first. So what I'll probably... Oh, I don't know. Do I want to separate the fresh water and the bad water here at source? Because what we could do is bring everything up to this level, have the bad water run off that way through this channel, and then have the fresh water run off this way, off the edge here, into this section. I think that's probably the best idea. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Alright, well that's what we're aiming for at least. In the meantime, I will spin on. We've got, what we on? 94%, so that's another 2% in like quarter of a day. So we should be done before the drought arrives. So I'll come back when that's done. Well, there we are. We are nearly at the end of day 6. So we've got the drought approaching in the morning, but our repopulator is done. So they'll be loading it up with the stuff they need. That's going to take a little while as well, obviously, because, yeah, we need treated planks for that. But let's have a look. We've got housing, so we want to unlock the large barrack. There's only 400 science. We could get one in there if we move the paths around, so let's do that. We'll pause for a second. We'll bring the path around that way and delete this one. And then we should be able to get our first housing block in there. And we'll put another one. Do we want to put it directly on that side? Yes, why not? Why not? There we go. And we will put in... where are we? Decoration. A lantern on either side like that. And then... a scratcher on either side like that. There we go. I could unpause it now, can't I? Right, and we'll get those built as well. We don't have berry storage up here. Everything but... oh, well, never mind. Okay. Okay. Right. So we'll start working on that. I do think the next thing is going to be... thank you, autosave. The next thing is going to be getting this sorted here. Why aren't you done? Let's pop the priority up on that so they get that done quickly. We should have the resources for it. Yeah, there's no problem with the resources for that. Okay. Right, I'll spin on till the morning. We'll see how long the drought is going to be. There we are. 20 days. That should be fine. That won't be a problem at all. We'll be able to cope with that. Yeah, alright, so that's good. 20 days, not a problem. Everything's shut up, everything's the way it should be. I'm going to leave, obviously, these off for the moment. We've got all of these on, so they'll drain this little river in here. This will all drain out pretty quickly, because we don't have anything stopping it at the moment. We do want to come down here at some point and close this off, as I said. I don't know what we're going to do with it after that. I mean, unless we close it up all the way along this height. Which is a possibility. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't. But that will send it... where will that send it? That's going to send it off this side as well. Maybe? Don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think we're going to leave it there for this episode. We've done all right. We've got our repopulator in. It's going to slowly fill up with the resources that it needs. And then it will set itself off. Or do I have to set it off? I think I have to set it off once it's filled. I do kind of feel that some storage for berries and treated planks would be a good idea. But I think we've got storage for treated planks over in our big old storage section here. Metal blocks, treated planks, metal blocks. Yeah, we've got plenty of storage over here for all of that stuff. So that will slowly fill up, hopefully, once they've filled this up. But we need 500 of them, so it's going to take a little while. Yeah, alright, well, I think, as I say, we'll leave it there for this episode. Next episode, we'll come down and start working on this section over here. In fact, we can start, if I can figure out where... Okay. So I think the water source is actually under this section here. It's difficult to say. I'll tell you what, let's come in and just clear a little 2x2 spot there so we can actually see what's happening underneath. That's probably the best bet, isn't it? And give us an idea of what we're working with. Okay. But as I say, we will leave it there for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Please do give us a like and a subscribe. It really does help the channel out if you haven't already done so. Please give us any comments down below, and thank you for everyone who does comment. And please join us next time. Until then, I've been John. This has been Timberborn. Please do take care of yourselves, stay safe, and bye-bye.